Next, we're going to talk about the periods of the sine and cosine functions. The period is the distance between any two sets of repeating points on the graph of the function. So if you take a look at the model to the right, you can see that this point here and this point here are at the same y values. So those are repeating functions. So a period goes from one to the next. And for your sine and your cosine graphs where b is not equal to 0, the period can be found by taking 2 pi and dividing it by the absolute value of b. So 2 pi over b, again, b is going to be positive. If we take a look at the graph of cosine of x and g of x equals cosine of 1/3 x, we want to know how those two are related, and we want to find the period of g of x. So let's go ahead and find that period first. So to find the period, we're going to need the b value. And our b value in this case is that number in front of x after the cosine, which is 1/3. So if I find the period is going to be equal to 2 pi divided by 1/3, which is the same thing as taking 2 pi and multiplying by 3, which is the reciprocal, which would give us 6 pi for the period. Now, how is this changing our graph? Well, what happens if we change the period is that it's either going to make our graph repeat faster or go slower as we go through it. So if we have a number in here that is between 0 and 1, like 1/3, it's going to expand our graph, which is going to make it repeat slower. And if this number is bigger than 1, it is going to compress it, which means we're going to repeat very quickly. So because 1/3 is between 0 and 1, we would say that this is going to expand horizontally. So the amplitude is expanding and compressing vertically. The period is going to expand and compress horizontally. So this is going to expand horizontally by a factor of 1/3. Next, I would like you to take a look at the try this. So go ahead and try it. There are 2 of them, so pause it now and unpause it when you're ready to check your answer. If you did letter A correctly, you should have gotten the period to equal pi over 3, and you should have said that this is compressed horizontally by a factor of 6. And then for letter B, if you did letter B correctly, you should have gotten a period of 16 pi. And you should have said that this expanded horizontally by a factor of 1/8. If you have questions, let me know.